So friends, let's see today's Padwal and Chana Bhaji. Now here I've taken the Padwal, washed it well, and now I'm going to take a peeler and very lightly peel just the thin peel that is there. With a potato peeler, you can also use a knife and just remove the thin peel of the Padwal. Then you're going to cut it into half and again into half, and then there's this white pulp that is inside. Take it out with a spoon. Discard that, we're not going to use it. It comes off very easily. You can just place it on a flat surface and just take a spoon and remove it. Discard that part, and if any strings are there, remove that also. Now you're just going to cut it up into small pieces like this. So they look like semicircles. So just chop all of them. Now this vegetable also cooks really very quickly. There's no ginger, garlic, onion required for this recipe. Now I also soaked 1/4 cup of chana dal for about 1 hour in water, and then I drained out all the water after that. Now we're going to heat 2 teaspoons of oil in a pan. Once the oil is hot, we're going to add half a teaspoon of mustard seeds. Once the mustard seeds begin to splutter, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of cumin seeds or jeera, half a teaspoon of asafoetida or hinga, and half a teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi. Now we're going to add the soaked chana dal and fry the dal for at least half a minute in the oil. Then we're going to add this chopped up padwal and fry that also in the oil for about half a minute. Now I'm going to add just about 1/4 cup or half a cup of water just to help to cook the dal and the padwal. Since we're not adding any onion, there is no water going to be released, so we have to add water. And after cover and cook it for 2 minutes on a low flame, stirring in intervals, and keep cooking it for another 2 or 3 minutes till the padwal is nice and cooked and the dal is also nice and cooked. Now you can check if the padwal is cooked by just piercing it with or cutting it with a knife or a spoon, and even mash the dal. The dal also should be edible and cooked. Now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of red chili powder. Mix it in well. Now I'm going to add some salt to taste. And I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of jaggery or gourd and about 1 tablespoon of freshly grated coconut. Mix everything well. Now in place of the jaggery, you can also use sugar, about 1/4 teaspoon of sugar, and cover and cook this again for 1 whole minute. Now you can turn off the heat and add another tablespoon of freshly grated coconut. Mix everything well, and this delicious padwal with chana dal recipe is ready. It gets ready really quickly. And you can have this with some hot rotis, puris, or some dal and rice. It's really delicious and really nice to the palate. I hope you try out this recipe. So friends, today let's see this drumstick leaves bhaji, also called moringa. Now first you have to just pluck the leaves and set them aside. This is a very healthy recipe. And then I've taken a bowl of water in which I've added some salt. So I'm going to let these leaves soak in this water for about at least 5 to 10 minutes. So all the grime and the dirt, goes away. And then you're going to rinse the leaves really well in a colander. Now I'm going to add these leaves to water which I have been boiling and keep the leaves in the water for at least 1 minute. After that, turn off the heat and now take out the leaves in a sieve or a colander, to which I have kept a vessel underneath the colander, and let the leaves become nice and come to room temperature, so it's easy for you to handle. Transfer them to a cutting board and now chop the leaves really fine. Now I'm going to heat a pan and I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of oil. Once my oil is hot, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of mori or mustard seeds or rye. Once the mustard seeds start to splutter, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of cumin seeds or jeera. Next, I'm going to add 1 green chili that I've cut fine. Now, I generally use the light green chilies because they have a lot of flavor and they're less spicy. Now fry the chili well in the oil so that it flavors the oil as well. Now I'm going to add half a teaspoon of asafoetida or hinga, as well as half a teaspoon of turmeric or haldi powder. Mix all of this really nicely together. So this is our bagar or our vorne. Now I'm going to add 5 cloves of garlic that I've chopped fine. This really elevates the flavor of this dish. Fry the garlic well till all of the rawness goes away. And then I'm going to add 1 medium onion that I've chopped fine. Fry the onion also till it softens up a bit. Cover and cook this for about 1 minute so that the onions become nice and soft and are cooked properly. Mix everything well. And now we're going to add these moringa leaves, also known as drumstick leaves, and mix everything well together. Now I'm going to add some salt to taste. Mix everything well together. And now we're going to cover and cook this for at least 5 minutes till everything comes together really well. Again, give it a good mix after it gets cooked for 5 minutes on a low to medium heat. And now I'm going to add 1/4 of a cup of freshly grated coconut. Turn off the flame and give it a good mix. And your lovely, simple drumstick bhaji or moringa leaves bhaji is all ready. You can enjoy this with some puri, chapatis, rice and dal. I hope you give this recipe a try. So friends, let's see today's Dudhi bhaji where we used only half a teaspoon of oil. It's a Goan style of making this bhaji. Now I've washed this Dudhi or bottle gourd really well, and now I'm just going to peel it using my potato peeler. This is a very simple recipe. Once that is done, we're just going to cut off the ends and we're going to cut this in the center like this. Again, each one in the center, and then we're going to cut them into medium sized cubes. Don't make them very big or very small. So in this way, I have cut up all the dudhi. Now I'm also going to be using 1 medium onion chopped fine, 1/4 cup of fresh coconut and 5 curry leaves and 2 green chilies slit fine, 1/4 teaspoon of mustard seeds. That's all we require. So we're going to heat a pan and I'm going to add about half a teaspoon of oil. And once the oil is hot, I'm going to add our mustard seeds just to flavor the oil. So this vegetable does not require much oil, just half a teaspoon. Next, once the mustard seeds have spluttered, I'm going to add my curry leaves and I'm going to fry this really well. Then I'm going to add the 2 green slit chilies. Next, I'm going to add my onion and we're going to fry the onion also lightly. Now this is a typical Goan style of making vegetable, which is very simple. There's no much masalas, just very few ingredients, because generally it's always eaten with some fried fish or fish curry. So now I've added the dudhi. Now I've only used half of that bottle gourd. Now I'm going to cover and cook this for 8 minutes on a low to medium flame, stirring in intervals. The other half I use to make dudhi parathas. I'll leave a link for that below. That's a great tiffin item. Now mix everything well, and I'm just going to add 1/4 cup of water just to help the cooking process. And cover and cook for 2 minutes. Now all the water has been absorbed by the dudhi, and you see that the color also of the dudhi has changed. Now we're just going to put some coconut and mix it really well. And I'm going to add some salt, of course. Mix everything nicely. Just cook it for half a minute and then turn off the heat. You don't have to cook this a lot. And our simple Goan style Dudhi Bhaji is all ready to enjoy. I hope you try this recipe, guys. So friends, let's start with today's two delicious recipes made with raw banana. So now here I have some raw bananas. I've just rinsed them under water and wiped them dry. These are two different bowls filled with drinking water. Now I've just cut off the ends of the banana and cut it into half like this. Now you can peel it in any way. So I'm using this really sharp knife. It's a silicone knife, but you have to be very careful with it. But it cuts really well because the peel tends to be a little bit hard. Try not to use a blunt knife, but a very sharp knife. You can also do it this way. Or you can just use a potato peeler, but you'll have to peel it twice because first it just removes the outer peel and then you have to remove the greener part because you want to only see the white of the banana. Now for the chips, I'm going to be cutting them into these thin rounds, like normal banana chips that we get outside in stores. And for the bhaji, I'm just going to cut it lengthwise like this in the center and chop it into cubes. Now I'm going to put both of these into water. That's why I've kept two separate bowls of water. That's because we don't want it to get discolored because otherwise it will turn into dark brown or a black really quickly. So just keep them in water till you are ready to use them. So let's start with the bhaji, which is super easy to make. Gets ready really quickly and is delicious. So here I've heated just 1 teaspoon of oil in a pan. You don't need lots of oil for this recipe. Once the oil is nice and hot, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of mustard seeds and 1 green chili that I've slit in the middle and cut it into half. Fry the chili well. Then I'm going to add a few fresh curry leaves. Fry that well too. Next, I'm going to add just about a quarter teaspoon of turmeric or haldi powder, and I'm going to add 1 small onion that I've chopped fine, and I'm going to fry everything really well. Now I've drained the water from the chopped up bananas, and I'm going to add that. Mix everything really nicely together. And now you're just going to cover and cook this for 1 minute. Again, saute everything. And now you're going to add salt to taste and just a pinch of sugar. Again, mix everything really well. And again, we're going to cover and cook this for 1 minute. Now you can see that it already looks like it's cooked. So we're just going to check it by just taking your spatula and just piercing into any of the pieces, and they should break up easily. Very similar to boiled potatoes or cooked potatoes. You can see that I've done it with 2. I'll give you a closer look using a knife. So I've just taken 1 piece and you can see that how easily it cuts. That means it's all ready. It's cooked. So now we're just going to add a little bit of grated coconut. Mix everything really well together. Turn off the heat and serve your lovely bhaji. Wasn't that really quick? And trust me guys, this bhaji is really, really yummy. You can have it with chapatis or you can have it with some rice and dal or rice and sorak. And now let's move to the super easy banana chips. So again, I've drained out all the water and I'm going to add half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1 teaspoon of red chili powder, some salt to taste. Mix everything really well. Then I'm going to add just about 2 tablespoons of rice flour. If you don't have rice flour, you can also use corn flour. This just dries up all the excess liquid that's there. Keep it aside for some 5 minutes or so. You can heat your oil for deep frying in the meantime. Coat them with some semolina or rava. And then all you have to do is just deep fry them till they're nice and crispy, which takes hardly about 5 to 7 minutes till they're nice and crispy. Do this on a low to medium flame. Keep an eye on them, turning them, in intervals. so that they evenly fry. And all you have to do is now drain the excess oil on a kitchen napkin and your chips are ready. Wasn't that quick and easy? So guys, wasn't that really simple? The main thing is just to peel the bananas and be really careful. So I have been using this silicone knife and it's really sharp, so you have to be very careful when using a silicone knife, but always use a sharp knife rather than using a blunt knife, and be extremely careful while cutting this. You can also use a potato peeler, which is really easy than the knife. It's just that the knife gives a very clean cut, that's why I'm using it, but otherwise a potato peeler works fine. So if you like today's recipes, you know what to do. Just give it a big thumbs up. By clicking the thumbs up icon, share my recipes with family and friends. Go and check out all my other recipes on my channel. And thank you so much for being here and watching my videos. And I'll see you soon in my next video. Sooner than you think. This is Akshata signing off. Take care, guys.
All right.